Over the years, crime in London, especially in wealthy areas like Mayfair, has become a major problem, with organized crime gangs carrying out thousands of luxury watch thefts. Mayfair, one of the most exclusive and expensive neighborhoods in the British capital, home to many businessmen, celebrities, and high society figures, has become a prime target for organized crime. These gangs specialize in high-end watches worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. Famous timepieces such as Rolex, Patek Philippe, Richard Mille, and Audemars Piguet are attractive targets, not only because of the value they bring, but also because they are often worn by wealthy individuals who are easy victims of sophisticated robberies. Criminal gangs operate systematically and professionally, using quick methods of theft, from tracking down a target to carrying out a robbery in seconds. These criminals not only commit robberies on the streets, but also attack expensive locations such as restaurants, hotels, or luxury shopping areas. They often take advantage of times when people are not around or when the victim is not paying attention to attack, making it difficult to catch them. It is worth noting that these gangs do not operate individually in one area, but have international links, expanding their operations from London to major cities such as Paris, Dubai, and Casablanca. Their goal is not only to appropriate assets, but also to trade stolen watches on the black market, creating a complex and dangerous criminal network. The increase in luxury watch thefts in London not only causes huge property damage, but also affects the sense of security of residents and tourists in luxury areas, making their lives unstable and anxious. Although high-end watch thefts began in London, investigations soon revealed that this was not just a local problem. These criminal gangs had built a transnational network of operations with strong branches in major global cities such as Paris, Dubai, and Casablanca. These cities became not only hotspots for the trade in stolen watches, but also international trading centers where luxury items such as Patek Philippe, Rolex, and Richard Mille were smuggled onto the black market. These gangs are highly organized and sophisticated. They are not just ordinary thieves, but strategic organizations that use technology to track and identify targets, as well as methods of transporting and selling stolen watches. In each city they invade, these criminal groups often have accomplices who have built networks to receive and sell stolen watches, allowing them to quickly sell their goods and avoid detection. In Paris, Dubai, and Casablanca, these watches are sold not only through underground channels, but also through luxury stores, where they can be refurbished and resold at high prices without raising suspicion. This transfer often happens quickly and discreetly, making police investigations extremely complicated. Once the stolen watches are sold in these markets, they are then resold to wealthy buyers around the world, from tycoons, businessmen, to luxury collectors. Reselling these items not only makes the gangs make huge profits, but also increases the difficulty of tracing stolen assets. This criminal network has demonstrated that crime is no longer limited to a single country or region, but has evolved into a global crime model where criminal groups can easily convert illegal assets into legal profits, making it difficult for law enforcement to respond and prevent. In response to the rise in high-end watch theft, the Metropolitan Police decided to launch a bold and risky operation. As organized crime groups became increasingly sophisticated, the police realized they needed to come up with a different approach to not only catch the thieves, but also disrupt the global criminal network. The strategy chosen was an undercover operation, using two undercover police officers posing as a wealthy tourist couple. The pair were armed with fake luxury watches worth thousands of pounds, identical to the models targeted by criminal gangs. The plan was to make criminals recognize them and believe they were easy targets. The pair would travel through upmarket areas such as Mayfair, where criminals could easily track down wealthy victims and plot their attacks. On October 10, 2024, the operation began. Two undercover cops, posing as a tourist couple, began walking through the busy streets wearing fake expensive watches. The plan went exactly as expected when a thief named Jakob Harkett began following the couple, seeing an opportunity to strike. Harkett, with his experience, had no idea that this was a carefully orchestrated trap. As Harkett approached and prepared to steal the watch, the police were ready. Support from other London police units quickly surrounded and arrested him, not giving the thief a chance to escape. The operation was not only a victory for the police, but also a demonstration of creativity and flexibility in dealing with organized crime. With this strategy, the London police not only achieved immediate arrests, but also sent a strong message that criminal gangs, no matter how sophisticated their schemes, cannot escape the law. Jakob Harkett, a 21-year-old thief, was the target of a secret operation by the London police. Harkett, a professional thief, was informed about the fake luxury watches worn by the tourist couple. He saw a great opportunity when he saw the Patek Philippe watch worth thousands of pounds worn by the policewoman. Daring and greedy, Harkett quickly decided to take action. While Harkett approached and prepared to snatch the watch, he did not realize that he was walking into a carefully laid trap by the police. His every move was being monitored and recorded by the police forces. As soon as Harkett made his move, the police acted swiftly and accurately. The backup force, which was already deployed, surrounded Harkett in a split second and arrested him on the spot, not giving him any chance to escape. The arrest went off without a hitch, demonstrating the success of the operation and the police's ability to deploy innovative tactics to tackle organized crime. The arrest was not only a victory for the police, but also a major blow to the criminal network, helping to deter similar robberies in the future. With Harkett's arrest, the police have taken a major step in cracking down on criminal gangs and proving that no matter how sophisticated, criminals cannot escape the wrath of the law. After Jakob Harkett was arrested, the police continued to expand their investigation and discovered that the robbery was not the work of a single thief, but part of a larger plan by an organized crime gang. When the police force conducted a check of the surrounding area, they discovered that 3 other suspects were watching the pair of undercover officers from a distance, apparently waiting for an opportunity to strike. One of the 3 suspects, Mohammed Nose, was immediately arrested when police spotted him moving towards the gang with the intention of committing another crime. Nose, like Harkett, had been following the pair of police officers and was probably aware that another robbery was about to take place. However, he was unable to react in time when the police arrived and arrested him on the spot. The other 2 criminals, Adel Muhammad and Janice Amri, saw the tension and quickly fled, taking advantage of the chaos and rush to escape the police. Although they escaped, the presence of these suspects suggests that this was not a single robbery, but part of a well-organized, ongoing criminal network with many members involved. The police then continued to investigate and seek information about the 2 remaining thieves and establish their links to international criminal gangs. The arrest of Nose and the discovery of other suspects has helped the police to break up much of the gang's structure, revealing the wider network they were involved in. Although the two remaining suspects have not been arrested, the case has succeeded in dismantling a significant part of the transnational criminal organization, and at the same time sent a strong message about the determination and creativity in dealing with organized crime. The investigation that followed the arrest of Jakob Harkett revealed a more complex picture of the gang's operations. Evidence recovered from Harkett and Mohammed Nos's phones, along with documents from other arrests, suggested that the watch robberies were not random acts, but were part of a well-organized international criminal network. The criminals did not act alone, but worked closely together in a complex system designed to target wealthy targets and luxury goods. The gang had a clear organizational structure, with each member taking on a specific role. Some criminals were tasked with monitoring and selecting targets, others with carrying out robberies, while a third group was responsible for selling the stolen watches through underground channels. This demonstrates that the watch thefts were not random acts, but rather carefully planned attacks carried out by professional criminals with a sophisticated operational system. Subsequent investigations revealed that the criminal network operated not only in London, but also in many international cities where they sold the stolen watches. Cross-border transactions made it easier for the gangs to sell stolen assets and avoid detection by the authorities. In particular, the use of technology to track and communicate between gang members made them difficult to break up. The criminal network also linked up with other criminal groups in many countries, sharing information and assets to maximize profits. This shows that modern criminal gangs no longer operate alone, but have become cross-border, creating a huge challenge for police forces in breaking them up. Investigative agencies now have to deal with not only a criminal gang in London, but also expand their investigation globally, coordinating with international security forces to prevent further luxury watch robberies. Following their arrests, Jakob Harkett and Mohammed Nos were brought before a London court. During the trial, evidence gathered from investigations, including mobile phone records and other evidence, demonstrated their involvement in an organized crime network. Harkett and Nos's defense attorneys were unable to present any evidence that would mitigate their charges. Given the sophistication of the gang's methods of operation and the organized nature of the gang, the court was unforgiving. Jakob Harkett, the mastermind of the watch robbery, was sentenced to 2 years in prison for participating in an organized crime group. Mohammed Nos was also sentenced to 3 years in prison on the same charge. The court found that, although Nos did not directly commit the robbery, he had a clear involvement in assisting and coordinating with other members of the gang, facilitating the continued criminal activities. However, the case does not end there. The 2 remaining suspects, Adel Muhammad and Janice Amri, have not been arrested, although they escaped during the arrest. They are currently wanted internationally, and the London police force, with the support of international security agencies, continue to expand the investigation and search for their whereabouts. With this trial result, the case is not only an important victory for the London police, but also a strong warning to criminal gangs, affirming that criminal behavior will not be tolerated and offenders will be severely punished. The Rolex Rippers case is not only a victory for the London police force, but also reflects the sophistication and complexity of modern organized crime. These criminal gangs have developed into transnational organizations, with carefully planned strategies and methods of operation. This proves that crime is not a random incident, but a well-structured and targeted threat. The case also raises major questions about the safety of major cities like London, which are considered economic, cultural, and political centers. Although areas like Mayfair are symbols of wealth and prosperity, they are also ideal targets for organized crime gangs. These areas not only attract the wealthy, but also criminals who seek to exploit the valuable assets of residents and visitors. To combat these threats, innovation and strategy in policing are essential. The covert operation using undercover police officers posing as tourist couples with fake watches demonstrated that traditional methods are no longer enough to protect communities. Police forces need to change, adopting new and more innovative tactics to ensure the safety of crime-prone areas. Furthermore, international cooperation between security agencies is also a key factor in preventing transnational organized crime groups. The ultimate message that this case sends is that there needs to be a high level of vigilance from both the authorities and the community. Modern organized crime will not be easily eliminated without close coordination and smart prevention strategies. Such cases remind us that security is not just the responsibility of the police, but also the responsibility of everyone in society.